We use the expression, lucky dog, way too loosely nowadays. We think getting a good deal online, a nice vacation, or a good-looking partner as being lucky. We thought so too, before we came across this. Your definition of luck will change altogether after watching this video. These are the luckiest people to ever exist on Earth. Number 1. Joan R. Ginther. Fourth time's a charm. Did you know that the chance of you winning a lottery is 1 in 200 million? In fact, you are more likely to die getting struck by an asteroid than win a lottery. How would you explain Joan R. Ginther's situation then? She won a lottery not once, but an unimaginable 4 times. Her life changed when she first won a cool $5.4 million. Only to win $2 million more 10 years later. It doesn't end there. 2 years later she won $3 million, and a staggering $10 million in 2008. Number 2. Sutomu Yamaguchi. The man who cheated death by a nuclear attack. Twice. It was during World War II that Sutomu was an employee of the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. During one of his work visits to Hiroshima was when the first nuclear bomb dropped in 1945. Blessed, though injured by the blast, he somehow managed to survive. He quickly returned to Nagasaki to his family and started work on the 9th of August, the day the second nuclear attack happened. He miraculously survived this too. Later in life, Yamaguchi became a vocal proponent of nuclear disarmament. In an interview, Mr. Yamaguchi said, "The reason that I hate the atomic bomb is because of what it does to the dignity of human beings." During a telephone interview he said, "I can't understand why the world cannot understand the agony of the nuclear bombs. How can they keep developing these weapons?" He also wrote a book about his experiences in the late 1980s. In March 2009, Japan officially recognized Yamaguchi as a survivor of both blasts. He is now the only person officially recognized as surviving 2 nuclear bomb explosions. Mr. Yamaguchi lived to a ripe old age of 93 and died on January 4, 2010, at his home in Nagasaki. Number 3. Bill Morgan. Back from the dead. Accidents can happen at any given point of time. For Australian Bill Morgan, it was when he was tragically crushed when his car met with a truck in an accident. Dead for more than 14 minutes, he somehow managed to not only survive, but also came away from 12 days of coma, even after his family removed the life support. Crazy. That's not the end of it. To celebrate the new life that was granted to him, he bought a "Scratch It" card and won a $27,000 car. To document his incredible story, a local news channel asked him to reenact the winning moment by scratching another card, only for him to win $250,000 again during the live reenactment. Number 4. Frane Selleck. 7 times lucky, and then again. Known as the luckiest man to ever live, Croatian Frane Selleck cheated death not once or twice, but an astonishing 7 times. Selleck's brushes with death started in January 1962 when the train he was traveling in flipped off the tracks, and crashed in a freezing canyon river. Bystanders pulled him to the shore, while 17 other passengers drowned to their deaths. Selleck just suffered a broken arm and hypothermia. A year later, during his first and only plane ride, Frank was blown out of a malfunctioning plane door, and as luck would have it, landed on a haystack. The plane crashed, killing 19 people. 3 years later, in '66, a bus he was traveling in skid off the road, into a river, drowning 4 passengers. Selleck, however, swam safely to the shore with only a few cuts and bruises. 2 years after, Selleck was trying to teach his youngest son how to hold a gun. Selleck hadn't realized that the safety trigger was accidentally off and somehow managed to shoot himself in the testicles. Selleck's testicles had to be removed, but he luckily survived, again. In 1970 and 1973 he got into accidents where his car caught fire. Apart from singed hair, Selleck managed to get out of the situation absolutely unharmed, again. Later, in 1995, Selleck was struck by a bus in Zagreb, but only sustained minor injuries. A year later, he eluded a head-on collision with a United Nations truck on a blind mountain curve by swerving into a guardrail, which couldn't hold on its own and gave way under the impact force of the car. He was not wearing a seat belt at this point of time, and was ejected from the car when the door flew open. Selleck saw his death along with the car plummet down about 300 feet into a gorge. You'd think cheating death an inhuman 7 times would be enough to be on this list. But there's more. In 2003, 2 days after his 73rd birthday, Frane Selleck won a staggering $1.1 million in the Croatian National Lottery. While he bought 2 houses and a boat with it, Frank also used the money to buy a small chapel to thank the Lord for all of his fortune. After $1.1 million and the 7 near-death experiences, he better be thankful. Number 5. Martin de Jong. The man who cheated death twice in 4 months. It is known that your intuition can give you a sense of what's going to happen in the near future. But how do you explain the case of Dutch cyclist Martin de Jong? Martin cheated death twice in 4 months. He was scheduled to be on the MH370, the flight that went missing and was never found, in March 2014. He had also booked a seat in the MH17 flight which later crashed, only to reschedule it at the last moment. Number 6. Edwin E Robinson. And divine power. The odds of getting hit by lightning is 1 in 12,000. But for blind and deaf 62-year-old Edwin E Robinson, those odds rose to 100%. Robinson wandering around outside in the field near his house, swinging around his aluminum cane dot and then taking shelter under the only tree when it began to rain was evidently too tempting for the lightning, which struck him to the ground. For 20 minutes, he lay unconscious, before waking up and stumbling back to his house, going to bed for a very well-deserved nap. Getting struck by lightning can tire you out quite a bit, you know. But when he woke up in the evening, he discovered he could see and hear once again. He was later examined by his doctor, who confirmed he had regained both his sight and his hearing, and probably survived the blast due to the rubber-soled shoes he had been wearing. Number 7. Fidel Castro. The man who cannot be killed. When you are hated and loved equally by millions across your country, an assassination attempt should shock you. But Cuba's counterintelligence agency has estimated that Fidel Castro has survived over 630 assassination attempts. 630. A number of these being planned by the US CIA, numerous mafia members, and his own mistress among many, many others. Fidel has survived his cigar being poisoned, exploding cigars, radio laced with LSD, hidden poisonous hypodermic needles filled with lethal concoctions, among a lot more things. Number 8. Nichiren. The man who survived a beheading. Nichiren was a prominent 12th-century monk who was sentenced to execution for having written a prophecy that the Japanese authorities felt was subversive, and undermining their power. As pure luck would have it, Nichiren managed to escape his own beheading when the executioner was struck and killed by a lightning bolt when he raised his sword. He was later released by the authorities due to the weird circumstances. Number 9. Terry Priest. Pearl Woman. The woman bought a regular Tesco oyster and found a real pearl in it. Hundreds of people shop at Tesco daily, but hardly anyone was lucky enough to find a treasure. Terry wasn't sure what to do with her found, but in the end, she spent it on a charming £500 ring. Priest claims she hasn't thought about this to happen, but she really loves oysters and buys them all the time. Number 10. A Sierra Nevada couple. These people are hiding their identities due to the fact they have found the biggest treasure over the past 100 years or even more. They didn't have to go too far. The couple was taking a walk in their backyard when suddenly they found some suspicious item. That was a rusty can full of coins. They dug up a few boxes full of 19th century money worth at least $10 million. It is the biggest hoard of gold coins ever unearthed in the United States. And it's going on sale soon. Number 11. Colin and Cheese Weir. This couple won the biggest jackpot in Europe. In July 2011, they were on their way back from a grocery store when they decided to get a lottery ticket. The couple confessed that was not their first attempt to win some cash on a lotto. But that was their lucky day. The ticket brought them insane £161 million. The couple spent a part of the money on a dream vacation. Now decide which of these people are the luckiest. Would this be an opportune moment to wish you luck? That is all for now, guys. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and smash that bell icon. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.